coming to you live from the Show Me State, birthplace of James Mercer, Langston Hughes. It's the Colbert Connection. Your hosts, Melody and Danica, are connecting you to the world through Facebook Live with today's topics, hot button and creative conversation. I'm your announcer, Dr. Colbert, working hard for a free meal and a bottle of crushed grapes. And now, here's your host, the Colbert Connection, Melody Colbert King and Danica Colbert.
Today, Tuesday, 6 p.m., it's the Colbert Connection. I'm Melody Colbert King.
And I'm Danica Colbert.
Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. We have some good news, some wild news, some interesting news.
And maybe some Debbie Downers for some of y'all,
Well,
but you know.
we gotta have that too. We gotta have that. But starting off, I'm not going to even jump into what we need to jump into, but we're going to start with the pandemic because that's never ending. It's never ending.
It is a situation.
Because
we keep calling it the pandemic situation, but it is definitely become more than what I think any of us had ever imagined.
Yes.
5 million cases later.
5 million. 5 million. The population of the world is what? 8 billion or something like that? 8 billion. 8 billion. 8 billion. With a B, billion. And 5 million cases of corona in the USA.
162 some odd
deaths. Yes. 162,000 deaths.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. Break it down.
How does that really break down when we compare it to the flu?
Because you hear people say, well, it's really just a strain of the flu.
Right.
Yes, it is. And why do we have to lock down and do all this? And why do we have to wear masks? And why this? And why social distancing? And why that?
Right.
So we have people dying from the flu. We have people dying from the COVID.
Yeah.
The thing I think it is, and I am no medical expert, but give me a couple years, I can get that too. But no medical expert. But I'm thinking because of the unknown factors.
All right.
You think? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I where I have my deliberations,
Okay.
right, is probably where it hits everyone differently.
Okay.
So I know we've got different strains of the flu,
Right.
and that somewhat affects people differently, but usually it's all the same.
Yes.
Because we, again, like I said, we got Tylenol, cold, and flu, and that can take care of you.
Yes.
Maybe.
Hot toddy.
Yeah, it'll take care of you and everything that ails you.
Yes.
Right. But with this COVID situation, you might be a carrier and feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
I might be on my deathbed, right? And the little kids running around with snotty noses and everything, and they could be carrying too, just passing it to everybody else.
And that's going to happen. I'm not saying that in a carefree way or frivolous way. It's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's never going to go away.
So how do we deal?
And how? We're going to live like this forever?
Talk to us.
We just want to know.
What are you doing differently? Or what are you doing in your day-to-day world to exist, to maintain some sort of normalcy, right? Because we can't stay indoors 24/7.
No. And when people say, I want to get back to normal, no, I don't want to get back to normal. I want to be better than normal because normal wasn't the best.
That's right.
It wasn't the best.
Some of y'all weren't washing your hands in the first place.
Picking
That's
your
how
noses
we
and
got here.
carrying on. Really. I see some of you in the car digging in your ears. Yeah, is that you? I'm just saying.
Hey, here's what we want to do. We want to be able to roll into the fall. And I want the kids to be able to trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
But I don't know what's going to happen with them.
We starting off with school first.
Well, yeah, we got to get
Joplin's
there
not
first.
moving. Joplin is not moving to the next stage.
Okay, so
the city council voted that they are not moving to stage 3.
Okay, so because I know this is your lane, was your lane.
Was
her lane.
Was.
She retired.
Yes.
Talk to me about what was happening in stage 3, or what was supposed to happen.
Well, it lifted the restrictions off of the amount that restaurants can have, from the limited capacity, and increased that amount. And it also let people have gatherings, opened up your gym, all that kind of stuff with more people. So basically larger gatherings.
So on the news, I saw there was some party, 500 or some odd people.
Okay.
In some house party.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a no-go.
That's, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's still, you get back to that people's private property, people, and you know we've had people who are marching against that kind of thing. You're infringing on my rights and that kind of thing. So I'm not saying anything about your rights and what you do. But just know some places will not allow things, some places will. And you have to abide by it. It's pretty simple.
I've noticed some restaurants that you go in, even like you said, with restricted numbers. Mm-hmm. Some of them require you to wear your mask when you come in.
Yes.
Some don't.
Yep. And then you get in, you sit down,
and you take it off. Yeah. So
COVID stops at the door. Did you not know that?
Oh, that's what's up.
It stops at the entrance.
I was just
and then
so
when you
confused.
sit down, it's over. You're good. You're good.
I'm so confused.
But when you get ready to leave,
put it back on.
Because it's at the door. So put it back on.
So that's about
We're
the
laughing, but
situation. It's real.
It's real. That's yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you're right about that door situation. Because they've got, let me not even.
Moving on. So we've got the presidential. How many days are we out now?
I don't know. I think what had happened was I got so excited today that we finally have a VP pick.
I think Biden finally picked somebody to run with him.
I know he was enjoying the publicity of who's going to be picked.
Pump it up. You got to do that. You got to build the excitement, build the, people waiting on it. It's like, what is it going to be? Who's it going to pick? And today, he picked.
Absolutely. Kamala Harris. Now, you probably think I'm saying that weird, right? However, I did some research. I can read. I tell you, I can read. So she had just today. In 2018, she had an autobiography. In the autobiography, she wrote down, "You pronounce my name, comma, like the punctuation, love." Okay? How cool is that? I get it, because my name gets butchered all the time. And I'm like, if it's close, I'll answer it. But I'll make it easy and you can just call me D.
Call me D.
So
not me. My name is Melody. Not Melody. Melody. But it's all good though. It's all good. I don't mind correcting people because it's your name. It's your name. If you answer to anything, then you will answer to anything.
Yeah.
So we got Kamala.
Kamala.
That's going to be his VP running mate. So that's it. She's the first black female in history. And yeah, I mean, what can you say to that?
I think it's amazing.
As a black woman,
awesome.
I am proud.
Absolutely.
I am proud.
You don't have to be a full-on Kamala supporter. However,
Right.
I think as far as people of color, this is a huge step, just like it was, 2000?
Yeah.
When we went with President Obama, right?
Yes.
That was a huge step.
That was huge.
This is another huge step. Just the fact that we're on the ticket.
Well, I mean, moving on up.
So, we're on the ticket.
To the west side.
I have no
West side?
idea.
West wing.
West
side, west wing. Yeah. Just saying. But anyway, we have picks. We're going to, since we're talking about White House and presidential and things like that, well, it's only natural that we talk about 45, President Trump's executive order.
Wow.
So,
how many of you have seen the post about the executive order?
the executive order that he signed. Tell him what he said.
So you tell him. You tell him.
I'm just saying. He wants to extend the unemployment and gets to like the 400 though instead of 600.
That's right.
$400.
And then the state is supposed to follow up with 100. I saw that in there. You had to read. I told you what you got to read the fine print. And you're the one who reads that. See, I was like, now let me see.
Well, I stopped.
You stopped reading?
I stopped because anything that has to do with the financial aspects of running the country cannot be done with an executive order.
What you say?
So I'm just saying I stopped.
What you mean cannot be? I've seen so much that. Can he do that? Like,
constitutionally, it cannot be done.
But he did.
Well, I'm just saying.
So I don't know. But it's interesting the things that we see that we're like, can he even do that?
Yes.
And he did. So we'll see what happens. I hope you are not holding your breath on the $400.
Well,
and the
then you
extra
have the payroll tax that he wants to defer,
But that's interesting.
because I may be wrong, but payroll taxes are funding Social Security.
So what does that mean to my parents or elders?
Us who are looking to get that's trying to get there, what just
You
say
ain't gonna have none.
zero? Can you say zero? Can you say work forever?
Ever.
Yeah, Social Security. So yes, it sounds marvelous. Nobody wants taxes taken out any more than needs to be.
Oh no.
But if you defer those taxes, I'm just curious what money we're going to use to fund the Social Security. That's all.
Well,
Curious minds want to know.
And to me, the word defer, which I know only because of student loans, which we'll talk about that in a minute, means I'm going to have to pay, they're going to find me one day. That's what that means.
It will
At
find
some
you.
point, I am going to have to account for those money that were deferred.
Yes.
So,
Period.
when that day comes, will I then, instead of $10, be charged 20?
We'll find out.
We will see.
We will find out. It also dealt with evictions. It's like people stay in the house.
Well,
You can't be evicted if you haven't paid your rent.
however, also in the fine print,
Yes.
that is not exactly the case. So if you are holding out on rent to like buy a big screen or something along those lines, I suggest you contact your landlord.
Pay your rent.
Absolutely.
Just pay your rent.
Please do.
Or your mortgage, or whatever you need to pay. When you got that extra $600 in the student, all that, surely, hopefully, you paid what you needed to pay. We understand. We don't need all the pushback. We understand. Some people got laid off. Some people just got out of the job completely. We understand that. So every situation is different. But if that extra money's coming in, pay what you need to pay, because it doesn't go away.
Nope.
It just gets pushed back a little bit. So I'm just saying, it's just with the student loans.
It has been deferred. Let's talk about those student loans, shall we?
Yes.
Because I was excited about this
Yes, yes.
one. He has deferred, and I believe, that word again, I believe with no interest, if I remember correctly. But Delonte, you let me know, brother, because I know we were talking about that. So that he has deferred, again, student loans to you don't have to make payment until
Right.
12/31,
Mhm.
as it sits today. So for another, what are we at, July, August, for another 4 months?
Hey, that take you through Christmas. Take you into the new year.
Merry Christmas.
Just in time for tax returns. Oh, but wait,
What's up with
tax
that?
returns. Better
Oh.
make sure you count that stimulus on there. Just saying.
I hope you all were paying taxes out of your unemployment
Everything that you have been getting from the government, might want to put a little fund away this taxes. Just little tidbit information.
funds. They will find you.
They have
But I
the
don't know
number.
anything about that. Let's carry on.
Got the number. Just saying, just saying. So, school, we were talking about school. School is coming up for the elementary and the high school and the university.
Yes.
School is coming up.
I mean, we're like a week out from some schools.
Yep.
We are 2 weeks out from Joplin.
Which was supposed to start Friday, this
Uh-huh.
Friday, but now is next.
Pushed out.
Yeah, it's till the 24th.
Right.
My daughter's birthday.
I'm holding on that. I really hope everything rolls like it should. There's been a lot going on in the meanwhile.
So we have a balance. Some are going to do virtual.
Mhm.
Some are going to do the on 3, off 2 attending school. I don't know how that's going to work. I did see the video that the superintendent, Gilbert, I think that's how you pronounce his name, put out
Okay.
on lines that have to be followed and places you can sit and where you can't sit, and masks have to be worn when you enter the school.
Good.
Again,
This sounds like work. I would probably wonder. I would probably wonder like how much especially for elementary kids. That's a lot.
yeah.
You know, staying in line to go to the bathroom is one thing, but now I got to wear this mask. Now you want me to stay 6 feet? 6 feet? How much? I mean,
Yeah.
how do we judge what a 6 foot is? I'm so confused, and it worries me. I don't, like I say, I don't have any littles, but it worries me. I hope that we have the best options
Mhm.
available, and I hope everybody does what works for them. So do what works for you and yours.
And well, if you haven't signed up for virtual by now, you're going to school. You're going to be in attendance, and you cannot change that until the semester is over.
Wow. So whenever you're in now, you're locked in.
You are locked in until the semester. Yes.
So what happens if someone tests positive? I know I threw that kind of left field, but what happens if someone tests positive? Have they talked about that on the parent calls?
I have not heard anything. I'm sure they will notify the parents and proceed accordingly, but yeah.
Okay, so here's my question, and I've talked to some of my girls at work about this too.
Okay.
So, and it works like elementary, I get it. So if someone tests positive, you shut the classroom down, send everybody home, whatever. But when we're talking junior high, high school, but hold on, but you've been in like 8 different classes. I don't know how they're going to work that. So back in the day, it would be like you've been in all these different classes today.
Yes.
You've gone to the cafeteria. You've gone to the restroom.
Yes.
And you've passed all these people in the hall. So what do you shut down exactly if someone then tests positive?
Well, and they're going to be wearing their mask when they pass in the hall. So, that's going to cut it off right there.
Oh, yeah, because it stops at the door.
Yeah, it stops with the mask. It stops with the mask
with
at
the
the
mask
door.
and at the door.
You're forgetting.
I
You're forgetting.
Oh, please forgive me, y'all.
Stay with me. Stay with me. So that's the elementary. That's the high school, the junior high and the high school. Then you have the college, the university.
I can't wait to talk to our guests.
I know.
The plans.
That's because we need to know what's
inquiring minds. But here's the thing. I mean, what a great time to take over a new school. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Welcome to Joplin.
Well, and it's funny because our guest today is going to be Dr. Van Galen, who is the new president of Missouri Southern State University. And just in talking, it's like, I was on the council who hired the city manager, the new city manager. And it was like, welcome to COVID. We'll put that in your lap, And now we have the new president. And it's like, I wasn't on that that hired him, but I'm glad they did it. And it's like, welcome, here's COVID for you to deal with, in addition to running the university.
Absolutely.
So I'm really curious and interested to see what he has to say about how they're going to deal with it.
It feels like a setup, and I feel bad.
It's a setup. We got him. So it's like, okay, what are we going to tell? Oh, but we're going to fix it. I know. So,
welcome,
Dr. Van Galen. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Are you excited?
I am. It is great to be in Joplin. I'm excited about Missouri Southern. Lots of challenges, and I'm happy to be with you. This is
we're the happy people. We're the happy people. We are the happy people.
Show, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell us, we want to know, as you have made your decision to also accept the offer here in Joplin, what was it about the campus? What was it about Joplin? What was the selling feature? That was loaded, wasn't it?
That's a lot there. And when you think about transitioning to a new position, I think the word fit is really important, right? There's got to be a good fit between kind of who you are as a person and leader and where you're going. And for me, Missouri Southern was a great fit for a few reasons.
Okay.
It's a very student-centered institution. It serves a large population of first-generation college students, about 60%.
Wow.
So it's a place of great opportunity. And you think about Missouri Southern and the students who come to us, the difference we are able to make, the value we add, I would say is much greater than it occurs at Harvard. So,
I would agree. As an alumni, I would agree.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, that's a good fit. And then also, I lived in Missouri 16 years up in Kirksville prior to this, so I knew about Missouri Southern more so at a time where the international mission was kind of front and center. Dr. Leon focused on that, but I still think that's a very interesting aspect of Missouri Southern. And when I interviewed here, went through the process, just a lot of great people.
All right.
And that made a difference. So a lot going on, but I'm very excited to be here in Joplin at this time.
So you got to meet a lot of the city leaders and different things like that when you were in your tour and being introduced and that kind of thing?
Yes, so a lot of the the interview process was virtual, as you can imagine.
Yes.
But since then, I've been able to meet with the city council, city administrator, a lot of leaders in the community, and also just spend time kind of getting out and about. You know, part of my job is to meet, yes, leaders, but I really want to understand Joplin, the people, the city, the history, the culture. But it's been great.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So what is the percentage now of the, if you have time to, if you have had time to get into that yet, of the Joplin citizens or Joplin people, as far as the people who are coming in to the enrollment? I mean, how is that way?
So the leading feeder schools, if you will, for Missouri Southern are Joplin, Glen City, Carthage, Neosho, and so it's really a fairly regional university. We do have students who come from longer distances, and typically over 200 international students, not as many this year. But Joplin is, I think, #1 feeder school, and so there's a lot of community connection here, and that's a great thing. I sense there's a lot of ownership from the city and the region in the university, and vice versa. That's a great starting point.
What is the school doing? I know, like you said, lots of international students. What are we doing to keep the ones that we have? Like the ones that went home and then, they went home for spring break, and I don't think we ever went back.
So school was out in March.
And we're done. So have we been able to get our students back? And like I said, I know we're not getting a lot this year, but that's going to probably hurt numbers a little bit.
It is, and it's a real kind of mix of situations. A number of those students actually stayed in the U.S., and so they either stayed in the local community or traveled or visited family in other parts of the U.S. So we will probably have between 80 and 100 international students this fall. But beyond that, it's difficult for international students to come to the U.S. or Joplin. Part of it is their home countries not allowing them to come here, and part of it is
we're not allowed.
Right. And it's unfortunate because those students bring tremendous value to campus. It's one of the many important forms of diversity for students from the U.S. To get to know someone from a different place and culture. Right. I think that's a very powerful experience. But we'll get back to that after COVID.
That's a good thing. We want to get back to, like I said, not necessarily normal, but better than normal. We want to be better than normal.
I like that.
So tell me, how is Missouri Southern and you, how are you looking to the future since budget cuts were announced to education? So what are you doing, or what do you have in line to as far as recruitment of teachers and even of students? And how is that going to affect what you have planned?
So that's a big question, and I've only been here 7 weeks. But
I need an answer now.
Right. So I guess first, kind of the context, right?
Mm-hmm.
With COVID, we had some serious state budget cuts. State revenues are down,
right.
So not surprising really. Our enrollment is projecting to be down some for the fall.
Okay.
A lot of that is COVID related, but also it's a very uncertain time. We can look at the numbers and compare them to last year, but so much has changed. And so we'll be starting courses on Monday, but even between now and then, there's a bit of an uncertainty of how many of those students will come to campus.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of challenges in the short term, no doubt about that. We implemented furloughs as part of reduction in the budget. So that's really difficult. What that means is all employees, except those that make $30,000 or less, so we did not ask them to take any furlough days.
Okay.
We'll take a furlough, and the more that you earn, the more furlough days we take. So it's kind of, I guess, a progressive model, if you will.
Okay.
And that will help us address the budget shortfall this year. And I'd say people that judge really great about that, understanding what we're up against, and coming at it with a bring this together attitude, which I really appreciate. Longer term, hopefully the state economy comes back after we kind of get through this pandemic. And
November.
Yes, November. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And then enrollment, we're really that's a really good point. We are rethinking and really focusing on what can we do to two things: recruit and attract more students, but also retention and graduation. How can we help our current students be successful? And so there are always two pieces of that, and there's a lot of interest in doing better on both fronts. So to me, that's one of my major focal points in how can we recruit more students, but also help those students succeed.
Awesome. I love that you mentioned retention and then, of course, putting them out to the workforce. So the interesting part is everything that any of us sitting here have learned of the workforce has completely changed in literally the last 6 months.
Yes.
So we're doing this virtual thing, a lot more, a lot of work from home. There's no really go into an office happening anymore, really. And if there is, it's usually like you have your own little office. So we've really transitioned that. So how is the campus? And if like I say, if I know I'm throwing it at you in 7 weeks, I don't expect a fully loaded answer, but you very well might have one. How is the campus teaching those skills? I know you have an awesome department, because I work with them, that helps train and has interactive with the workforce. So how are they transitioning their programs?
Yeah, so if you dial back to March, right, this was a shock to higher education in Missouri Southern. Everything went largely from face-to-face to online in about a week. So that was difficult, and I wasn't here, but I understand our faculty really did a great job of making that transition, and our students were patient, and things actually worked out fairly well. We learned a lot from that, and as we roll into the fall, and we can talk more about it, but we have a mix of face-to-face, hybrid, and online courses. So that has changed to a degree how we teach and how students learn. And I think we have, for example, many faculty now who've gone through that transition who are better equipped, better experienced, to provide that online instruction and that experience, and build communities online in ways that we previously had done only face-to-face. I think our students will in some ways benefit from this as well, to work and learn virtually. I do think that face-to-face experience is still critical.
It is.
Especially for 18 to 22-year-old students, right? Because there's a learning piece.
Yes, that social aspect, yes.
Exactly. And
Interaction.
Many of our students have told us they want to be back on campus safely, and that's kind of been our guiding light, is to try to provide those engaging experiences within a safe way.
Okay.
So we're getting comments about people can't hear us, so I just want to make sure that we
Click that on.
I just want to make sure that
We see you, thank you, people.
Are we talking loud enough now?
Now you'll hear
Check us out. And let us know, leave us a comment. So thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure they're hearing, because you're telling us some great stuff that people that have students and children go on campus, I want to know. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's when we have to adapt so much that we've had to do in these past 5-6 months. What do you see? One thing that comes up a lot when we were talking about recruitment, there are not a lot of people of color as far as instructors. There's a few out there, and there were a few when I went, but are there any special things that you'll be looking for that may help to attract more, or any programs or whatever that you may have seen at your other where your previous places that would help bring in more people?
Yeah, it's a great point, because Missouri Southern has a fairly diverse student body.
Right.
Over 20% who say students of color.
Right.
And that's wonderful, because that brings a lot of different perspectives and experiences. And through the process of interviewing here, that question has come up, and I even have heard that from students say, "Hey, I'm having a great experience here, but it would be wonderful to have a more diverse faculty and staff." So that is definitely on my radar. Some programs I've seen, would be to kind of a grow your own. So over time, Missouri Southern has had graduates who probably went on to pursue master's degree, doctorate degrees. How can we keep in touch with them and find ways to bring them back to campus to be on our faculty and staff? It's kind of a long-term strategy,
Absolutely.
but those very students, most of whom would have roots in this area, may be very interested in coming back to Missouri Southern. But also I think it's part of the recruitment process to just make sure that our processes when we hire are not just fair, but value that diversity and to ensure we have diverse pools and to think about implicit bias and all
Absolutely.
those issues that can enter those searches. So I do think it is very important for many reasons, but also because that's important to our students. And not only our students of color, but our students from traditional, Caucasian backgrounds,
yes.
to have that interaction with faculty and staff who come from a different background and perspective. So
Takes us all to make it work.
it does.
It takes us all. So, if we had to ask you what would be your top, we'll take it easy on you. Your top three, top three things that you would like to either implement or looking to have by your first 100 days, or what would be like your top three?
Sure. I think if you look at the first 100 days, and maybe this is a cliche answer, but to listen and learn.
That is not cliche. That is brilliant.
Because you come to a new place, and I've studied Missouri Southern quite a bit. That's one thing. But to really get to know people and listen to their perspectives on campus, to our faculty, staff, and students, and then also in the greater community. And I've been enjoying that and learning more. So, people ask me, well, what's your vision after 7 weeks? Well, I have some ideas.
Still not.
Yeah, but I think another important, really guiding light for me is the student experience. In the end, the university exists to provide great, high-quality educational experiences to students, to provide opportunity. And so I'm always very concerned about, are we doing that extraordinarily well, and how can we do better? One way, and it kind of connects to retention and graduation rates, is engaging students in what are called high-impact practices. These are experiences such as undergraduate research, working with a faculty member on projects. It could be study abroad, it could be internships, it could be senior capstone projects. And Missouri Southern is involved in some of these types of practices, but I really want us to never lose sight of providing a great, high-quality student experience. And then I think the other aspect I would mention is looking to the future. How can the university even better connect with Joplin and the region and support economic development, talent development? It's always interesting because I sometimes get these questions about what is the purpose of college, right? So on one hand you hear
in the lives of Elon Musk and
right.
Why go to college again?
Right. And there's a lot of data, from a kind of utilitarian view. If you complete a college degree, you earn more, you're less likely to be unemployed, you're more likely to vote, volunteer, all of these things. And so part of a college education is citizenship, right? So we talk about a liberal arts education. And that's one kind of argument people use. The other is it's about developing talent, getting a job, having a career. And I think it is both of those, and actually those two ideas are connected. When you talk to employers, they want students who can think critically, who can communicate well, who can work with others different from themselves. And those are all skills and qualities you learn as part of a college degree that help you get a job and have a career, but also transform in some great ways who you are.
Okay. So what do you, getting a job, I understand that, starting your career, what does the university, or is there programs out there now that push towards entrepreneurship? Because, we focus on this mainstream, getting a job, get the education, get a job, work, retire. live. But what about entrepreneurship?
Yes. Well, again, after 7 weeks.
You can pull from your past experience also.
So I was actually, one of the things I'm doing in the evenings is walking through buildings.
Okay.
Because I haven't been in a lot of buildings yet, and so I was walking through the Placer College of Business building and been doing some reading. So they have a program in entrepreneurship, and they're doing some, I think, some really great things in helping students, not just walk their way through a curriculum to a degree, but to learn entrepreneurship, how to be innovative, how to be creative. And I'm really a big fan of innovation in general. How can we encourage students and all of us to think in new ways?
Yes.
It turns out if you give students an opportunity to be creative, they don't have a lot of the boundaries in their minds that maybe we do.
Right.
And they have great ideas that can be innovative. And so I want to make sure our students have those types of opportunities. And if you look at the knowledge economy of tomorrow, all of this, those skills are really critical. So, and I know that the city of Joplin is trying to create more of a culture of innovation, entrepreneurship, and I'm very interested in the university supporting and connecting and leading it.
Okay.
Have you met with Toby yet?
I have met.
Okay, I know. I was like, you need to make sure you can
We will
put
connect
in
you.
with
Yes,
Chamber.
I'm
Yes.
Yes, on my first day on campus, we had a meeting of business leaders and CEOs, and Toby was there, and clearly he has some really exciting ideas.
And lots of energy.
Yes,
Lots of energy.
that was clear.
Yes. He's got ideas and they just go like this. They just flow.
But the innovation, the part that you were speaking about with this school and kind of transitioning it into this, entrepreneurial. And so that's where I was like, if he hasn't met Toby, we need to make sure that he's definitely connected, because I know the college at one point had programs for small businesses. And I don't know if that's still there. I know it was at one point.
Yes, so we do have the Small Business Development Center,
Nice.
so that is on campus. And
He survives.
and that plays an important role in developing business plans. But related, but it's a little different, right? This idea of entrepreneurship and what do you do when you ideate? You have an idea. How do you bring that idea to the market? Maybe to pivot your idea based on potential customer feedback, and then there might be intellectual property involved, how you handle that.
Right.
So there's a lot of exciting aspects of that, and I do think, and I've listened to Toby, part of the future of Joplin and most cities now is the ability to attract, to develop talent,
Right.
and to promote and support entrepreneurship.
You have to. I mean, because there are a lot, especially now in this time, the importance of it. You have people fixated on their screens, whether it's their phone, their iPad, their computer, day in and day out, they are on these screens, so you have a ready-made audience. So it's like, okay, what are you doing to capture that audience? Even with Missouri Southern, how are we pivoting to catch that now and possibly increase your attendance or that kind of thing?
Yes. Well, and it's interesting you say that, because as I listen to people from this area, they're very interested in having Missouri Southern have a great presence here, being very visible, and of course I'm all for that. And I drive around town and see the banners, and that's very nice, and the billboard.
You've seen those out there, right?
Yes.
I just making sure.
I did. But then when you talk about student recruitment, well, that's digital, right?
Yes.
And so, I've heard it said that if the target audience for that billboard is not a student, right?
Nope.
And so we need to adjust to that. And so we're doing a lot of digital marketing and,
Okay, that's why I was asking, because I'm like, I haven't really seen a lot, and we're on these things. And
Some of
I have
us
a daughter.
were-
No, I have a daughter, teenager, and so she's on it, like lives with it. But I'm just, I was like, what are we doing to?
Yeah, well, that's good feedback if
Yeah.
you're seeing that. So
You just got somebody in trouble.
No, I didn't. I'm giving ideas.
Okay,
These are
we'll take that.
ideas.
Constructive. It's
That's
constructive.
right. Constructive ideas. Just ideas.
So, but I love that, because I work in recruiting, and so
Yes.
I absolutely know, like, my mindset, it's gone from how can we get out and about to how can I touch someone through this?
Yes.
So what has your recruitment department done differently? And that kind of just leads from our question. What are we doing to get out there and recruit?
Yep. So if you look at some of the ads, our website, over the last couple of months, we've really focused on quality education close to home, right? So you probably have seen that message.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is about, of course, is, there's a significant population in and around Joplin. Maybe some of those students were thinking they would go to,
Right.
Umsel or some
Mm-hmm.
other place, but with COVID, maybe they'd like to stay close to home. So our recruitment efforts try to be, I guess, savvy, if you will, and adjust to those realities. We do a lot of digital marketing going on, but the billboards are always funny because people, perhaps I'll just say of my vintage, if I don't see a billboard, it's easy to say, well, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the target audience is not us, right?
You are absolutely correct. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot for you to focus on, being a new president and all that. So you have all the politics of the job, but then you have the creativity side
Yes.
that you get to put your mark on or your stamp on. So what would be one thing, if you could think of one thing that you really accepted this job with the intentions of implementing or to see be done here? If you can, and I know that was kind of out of the blue, but I'm just curious because.
Yeah, I guess I'm not ready to say that one bold thing.
And that's fair.
But I would say this, back to this idea of student success and the student experience. I hope I could be part of working with others to make that absolutely spectacular for every student. The other comment I would make is the international mission. So if you go back, that international theme of the university's mission dates back to President Leon. And I think that is a really unique opportunity and kind of can set Missouri Southern apart. The university is many things, but I think that theme, there are themed semesters, the ability to encourage and support our students to study abroad, bring international students here, infuse that international curriculum across the campus.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about that,
Okay.
and I want to further support that. I had a great meeting this morning with some of our art and theater and music faculty, and they do that really well. And there's an exhibit in the art gallery that focuses on the Caribbean, and so it's really great.
I was part of that traveling, one of the traveling semesters. I can't remember what it was called, but we went to Spain.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we were there for 2 weeks. Lovely.
Did you learn anything?
I did.
Just
I
check.
learned.
Gotcha.
Listen, let me tell you the main thing I learned, because we toured a couple of businesses and about maybe 4. But this one, I don't know why it sticks out in my mind, but it was called Colbert. And it was like appliances. They built appliances. And so it sticks in my mind because we were there, then we took the little tour, that kind of thing, go do a little tour. We get to the lunch line, food, so I was like, hey, okay. We get to the lunch line, cafeteria, and they have all this food, but then they have beer for the workers for lunch.
For lunch.
Because siesta time, you shut down. You don't mess around. We don't have, the breaks we like to. It was all right with me because I'm like, hey, when I break, I break. But it was like, wow, you can get beer on your lunch break.
So for the record, I don't think we're going to do that.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
Thank you.
Siesta time, beer on your breaks, and
Spain is off the list.
Yeah.
But they have the lowest sick calls ever. Nobody calls in sick. You don't call it. People are happy to work, and they work 4 days a week. I'm just saying.
Pre-COVID, that might have been a big factor, but since most people are at home now, I don't even think, I was a supporter of the unlimited vacation days, because they were talking about some of the places that did that,
Yes.
and they didn't use all of them anyway.
Yeah.
But COVID, I just don't think we,
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to
There's
get out.
more than one way to do things.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
I'm trying to get out of the house, and at this rate, I might sign back up, go to school too.
Yeah.
Come on over.
You got room?
Absolutely.
You know what? That does bring a good question. Where are we? You make 7 weeks, I know. But the master's program, I know they did implement one in accounting, I believe. And I have the one for business. Has that been implemented yet? The master's?
We have a master's in management.
Okay.
So that's implemented, and of course, master's in education.
Okay.
And then also a new program that's pretty exciting, a undergraduate bachelor's degree in healthcare administration.
Oh.
So, and I, expand on that a little bit. When you look at Missouri Southern, when you look at a medical school here, a dental school coming, Freeman, Mercy, there is a real strength here in terms of healthcare. And I do think the university has the opportunity to play even a bigger role in that. So that is a pretty striking feature of Joplin, and I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
Yeah.
Still think you need to look at that other curriculum from Spain, but I'm just saying.
We will give that the consideration it deserves.
And he filed that away. I like him a lot.
I don't know. That's
You're the
attention
mayor.
that it deserves. Yeah, I know what that means. Yeah, I'll take that into consideration. Yeah, file 13.
That's where it went. That's where
Yeah.
I helped him put it over there.
Thank you.
He's supposed to be my cousin. I don't understand.
He's good people.
Yeah, he is. I like him.
And he's
a good
down
guy.
to earth and real. And so, I don't know how open
That's all
your
we do.
policy
We keep
is
it
out there,
It
but
is open.
everybody needs to pop by and welcome him. I mean,
Yeah, now pop by in
at
increments.
6 feet.
Yes, 6
Wave
feet
from the
in,
door.
Wave from the door.
Yeah.
Call him. Just send
Just
him a
like
little
simple
note.
text.
It's a little virtual. Yeah.
Hey,
let him know.
welcome.
Zoom.
We saw you on the connection and
Colbert can
Hey.
let him know. Let him know.
invite him to your businesses. I know we got a lot of business owners on the page.
Yes.
Invite him out to check out and introduce
Yes.
and what can you do to help Southern and help him with the mission.
Help him welcome.
That'd be great.
And one thing we're going to leave with, and we sure thank you for being with us today, but we know you have a lot of fraternities and sororities out there that are on the campus, and that's a good thing. But we really need to have a few that there's some Greek life for your black students, your people of color. It's a lot of fraternities and sororities that are not out there. And I don't know the reasoning behind that, but when you're in your research and, just delving into different things that you want to, just maybe look into that and see. Because,
I will do that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we have to go to Pittsburgh. We don't want to go to Pittsburgh. We don't want to go to the Gorillas to have to.
Do they have a campus over there?
No, you know nothing.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
people.
We don't even know where that is. What are you talking about? Pennsylvania? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
No, I appreciate.
He's
I'll do
going to
that.
do great here.
I knew I liked him.
Yes, he's gonna do
We're going to have
great.
you back on. After we're going to
Yes,
give
a few
you them
months.
100 days.
Yeah.
We'll probably give you till the first of the year. No, we may get you right before Christmas, but we're going to get you back on
But
here.
I do appreciate that, and
Yeah.
I'll check into that.
Thank you.
And I'll
I
probably
like
give
that.
you a call.
That
A little
is
more.
awesome. That's all I ask.
Good.
We can take it from there.
I love it.
Thank you for being on. We sure appreciate
I
having
enjoyed
you.
it very much. Thank you.
And that was Dr. Van Galen. Did you guys like him? I like him. He's real people.
Good people. Yes. I've like file 13. I was with him. I was like, hey, let me help. No? Okay.
I got a file 13, but it's full.
We all have one.
After 14 years of counseling, my file 13 is full. Not really. I really listen to everybody. Anyway, so Kamala. I know I did that just so you could correct me.
I didn't want to correct you, but I just wanted to
Yeah, I
make
knew it
sure
was coming.
since you were like, say the name right, say Melody with 2 E's. So,
Well, 2 E's. That's right.
Melody. E.
Anyway, so next week, what do we have going for next week?
What is, Oh, it's the Lord's Chicken.
The Lord's Chicken
Yes,
is going to
Chick-fil-A.
be here. Rick
Yes.
Starkweather
Oh,
with Chick-fil-A.
yes.
My friend, he is my friend. And when I say he's my friend, he really is. This man, I got a picture that I'm going to post for you guys next week, leading up to him coming, because that is a true friend and business person. The thing
Tell
that
them what
he
you did. Just tell them.
without the picture, and I forgot to upload it.
But still,
He put Me's Place, my business, and he's been here to eat and support and that kind of thing. But he put my business on his marquee.
at
On
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, the one on Range Line. He put it on his marquee for a week and a half,
When you first
almost
opened,
2
was
weeks.
that right?
I was in about 3 years.
Three. Oh, so
Yeah.
it was like an anniversary or something.
It wasn't even anything.
Just
He just
'cause.
said, well, how about if I put it up?
Think
I
about
said,
that. Who does that? I don't see McDonald's putting up Burger
ain't
King.
nobody, now ain't putting up nobody
that's
but
huge.
Whoppers. That's it.
That's huge.
I was like, and it said Me's Place, Soul Food. I was like,
So-
and he gave the address.
And the address, go on over there. This line too long, so y'all go on, go on over. 'Cause
We
you
got
know-
some chicken
look,
for
'cause
you.
You know when it's lunchtime, y'all be getting out that right lane. So anyways, but...
5-lane Chick-fil-A
But
manager, Rick Starkweather, will
Let's
be
talk
here.
about that. I mean, honestly, people from Chick-fil-A, when it comes to recruiting, the
Man.
best customer service around.
And that's what we're going to be talking with him
I can't
about.
wait to talk to him
I
about
know. It's like we need to tap your brain a little
Yes.
bit, because there's so many businesses who say we can't find good help, nobody wants to work, that kind of thing. They treat the customers rude.
Look, and
I
they're just
have not
happy.
had a bad experience.
They just happy. Have a
Happy.
blessed day. They
I'm
changing
just-
tires out there, y'all. I'm just,
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
my pleasure,
pleasure.
to help
Serve
you.
you to whatever you need.
Honey,
My car overheated in the line.
what they do? Put some
They
water
said,
in
"Here,
there.
let us help you get over here to the side and pull it out." I said, "Well,
Probably give you some nuggets and lemonade.
I had
and
already
everything.
ordered, but I'm just saying
Look.
that is the level that
Of
we are
customer service.
aspiring to, people.
So
on-
think
for
about how that
everything.
has transitioned. When he started to now, like when you pull up, like it's a walkout. That drive-through went from a window to a walkout,
Islands.
and 5 deep. We can't merge at McDonald's. I get so annoyed in the 2 lane, especially when they pull that lane. No, they didn't order before you.
Yeah.
There's nothing more annoying, right?
Yeah.
Like you can hit my car if you want to.
As long as you got good insurance,
Hey,
I'm good.
'cause I'm
you
calling.
know.
I am calling the people.
Calling out. Just saying. Just be warned. But yeah, so we're excited
Yeah,
for that.
we're
We
very
are
excited.
excited to have him. We may, take a little extra time because he might bring us some chicken. We don't know, but we're gonna put that out there in case he's watching. Rick,
And bring the Polynesian. I'm just playing. Bring that Polynesian.
now I'm gonna
sauce.
need the barbecue the honey roasted barbecue.
So we also have some more cool guests
Yes.
coming.
We have the chief of police is going to be here.
Huh.
We have the director
Juvenile
of the
Justice.
Juvenile Justice Center.
That's
is
gonna be
here.
exciting.
Yes. So we really need you guys to send us some questions in our messenger,
Mhm.
so we can have those and be sure to ask them if you are interested in hearing from them
Absolutely.
anyway, instead of just hearing us talk about it. I know we're exciting. Just go with us.
Everything
Just go
is
with
more
us.
exciting with a Colbert twist. I've decided.
Well,
Most things.
we keep it lively in all aspects. We're gonna get my cousin, her brother, Damien on here, D Nice, one day, and we're gonna give you some lead time for him.
Oh
though. We're
yes,
gonna
because
give
y'all
you
aren't ready yet.
You're not ready. We're gonna give you probably 3 months lead time because it's gonna take all of that,
And for us to get the beep.
Yeah, because we gotta
do
figure out how to do all that.
We don't know.
But we are excited because we have producers working with us now.
So here's the deal. We have different levels of this producer,
Yes.
right? Because we've got the back scene producer.
Yes.
We got the producer that finds us all the help producer.
Yes.
We've got the announcer producer. We got the 2 producers with all the, y'all should see the setup. So you know
Professional.
that first show we had when we couldn't get the screen right way. Y'all
Remember
see
that.
it. Y'all see it.
Everybody got to start somewhere.
I'm gonna post some pictures of what's going on right now, because
'Cause-
you're gonna think we really know what we're doing, but that's
As-
not us.
The song says "Moving on up." We moving on up, and this is the East Side.
But that's not us though. There's people back there now.
Yes, and they are working hard.
Amazing.
Josh, he's
And
working hard, and
Jessica.
Jessica are working hard, and they are part of our team now. And even if they didn't know it, they
Yeah.
are part of the team now.
We're gonna have to get some more crushed grapes
Yes,
and
and
free
crushed
meals.
grapes. That's what our announcer did.
Yay,
Don
free
working
meals
hard.
and crushed grapes.
We got you. We got you.
That's about all we got.
And we've been told we need to leave with a positive statement and
By our other producer.
Yeah, by
Yes.
a feel-good statement
And a question.
and a question. So, I mean, we can give y'all something, but what do you want to know? What? I mean, you're tired of COVID. You're tired of the presidential race. You're tired of lockdown. We tired of masks. We just tired. So we want to know what kind of questions do you guys have that we can put out there and get some feedback on, because our show is about your opinions. It's about opinions. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear why you think a certain thing is, if that's a good or bad thing. And there's no judgment. There is no judgment.
Okay, but here's the deal.
See, I said no judgment.
Somebody on here is probably gonna judge you.
True that.
And that's okay, right?
It's life.
Because in this world, I've already signed up number 46. I mean, I got the president lined out. You've got the end of COVID down. I mean, we've got a lot of ideas and things going on, but we're going to have fun with it. We're going to talk about it. We had, with all the conversation today about who number 46 has put on his ticket with him. And, we want some feedback with that. We want y'all to talk about it. I know everybody doesn't agree, and that's great. Great conversation.
And that's great. We love that.
We love it.
We are here to educate, entertain.
Absolutely.
And we had another E.
We're going to get
enlighten.
F. We're going to get an F from our other producer.
No.
We were getting A's.
No,
we're going to get an F today.
He's all good. He's all good. And we're going to need him to speak up over the music for the intro.
Oh, I'll bring home some more crushed grapes.
We got some crushed grapes coming for you. So thank you for joining us for the Colbert Connection, and we will look for you next week at 6 p.m. on Tuesday on Facebook Live.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.